No, I'll move it back.
Hi, welcome to Life is Mimi. And today is a special request uh, from a student patron. And specifically, they're asking the same question that many people are asking who are seeking a special person or to get an ex special person back. And they're still reacting, and one has to understand that when you think with this brain, you're thinking with the human brain, okay? And you're not thinking with the human being brain. That's in your heart. The first organ that is made in a fetus, the very first thing made is the heart. And it makes everything else. And it made this brain, okay, to make another one of itself appear. And it's split in two. And the reason why things work with your imagination is when you're getting all these three going, and that eye opens up and the energy shoots out. And you're doing it through your heart. The feeling is the secret. The Bible tells you, and the word used is the Greek translated word, compassion. But when it was translated, compassion meant with passion. Do it with passion. Do it with feeling, with great feeling. And Neville Goddard would tell you, go in your imagination and touch it. Okay? That's one of your senses, using one of your senses. And the Bible tells you about that as well. But the Bible is telling you over and over and over again that it's the brain in your heart. It's your heart. Follow your heart. That's your gut. That's that tingling sensation. The feelings come from your heart talking to you. That's God talking to you. That's your instinct. That's your gut. Okay? And when your gut tells you you're being treated like dirt, and you step back and look at it, and then you act like Sherlock Holmes, or you act like the sniffer, or you act like the doctor, and you stop and you look at it, okay, without the emotion. All right? Be scientific. Step back and look at it. If it smells like a fish and it tastes like a fish and it looks like a fish and it feels like a fish, then it's probably a fish. So if it feels like they're treating you like dirt, and it smells like they're treating you like dirt, and you're getting that feeling that they're cheating on you, and they're flirting with everybody but you, and they're treating everyone wonderful but you, then you're playing the victim bully game. And you're looking at life with this one and not this one. And the idea is to open this channel between the two, and then with your mental diet, therefore engaging your imagination, and have this one override this one through a Fibonacci sequence. It just grows and grows and grows. And that's why you mental diet on the 7 aspects of God to have a healthy, wealthy, happy, loving, and fulfilling life. All of life is prosperous. All of life is abundant. All of it. There's only one life. God is playing the trees. God is playing the grass. God is playing you. You are no different than the birds and the bees and the grass. The difference is you think. Okay? You think. Therefore I am. Okay? And there's nothing you can't think of. And you've been spinning stories that hurt because you separated yourself from this heart, from this consciousness. You're only thinking with this one. So your heart aches. Your heart is aching for you. It doesn't have to be this way. Okay? You can have a wonderful life. You can have a great life and be treated with respect and like a lady and beautiful and wonderful. Now, if you want it with that person, then you need to change how you see them. And that begins with forgiveness. Forgiving them for being a disrespectful, ugly jerk to you. And then forgive yourself for thinking they were an ugly jerk and flirted with everybody but you. You know? You forgive them for doing it and being that way, and you forgive yourself for thinking they could be that way. And your heart, and you're crying when you're doing it, this is great emotion with passion, with feeling, okay? You're vibrating with your heart now. It hears you. And it says, I've got it, baby doll. Yes, it's all forgiven and forgotten. And you focus on those 7 aspects of God while you're seeing the other person differently. And you're writing that on this brain. Okay? From this brain to this brain. You know, I can't change him. I know I can't do that. I'm sorry. I thought he was a jerk, and I'm sorry he acted like a jerk. Man, am I so sorry. You know? But I forgive him for being that jerk. And most of all, I forgive myself for thinking it could be that way. And no more remorse. And no more beating myself up about this. I'm done. Okay, this is done. God is great. And God is good. And God is love. And God is life. Now you're engaging your heart. Take it away, please. Take my pain and suffering away. And it will. It will. Can you change that other person to be the way they were in the honeymoon phase? So you can have that magic back with them? Yeah. Yeah, you can. First, you have to deal with yourself. Because you're the one who did it. They just played their role. Okay? They're just a person. And when you first met, everything was perfect because the stories hadn't come out. But then the stories come out. And you think with this head instead of this head. Trust me, if you were thinking with this head, you would look at them and say, you know, I don't care how many girls you've ever had, and I don't really care. You know, I know you and I are together and we're one. You know, that's all in the past. It doesn't matter to me, you know, and move on. Because and it won't. It just won't. But as long as you're playing the victim bully game, they're going to tell you more stories. And sooner or later, it's going to start sinking in. And sooner or later, you're going to start buying into it. And now here comes the fighting and the disrespectful attitudes and the ugliness and the, you know, you're just a prick and all that other caca. That's no fun. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants it to be that way. They don't want it to be that way either. Okay? That's why they're ghosting and running and hiding. That's why, you know, they think they can get away with it. You let them get away with it. And then when you say, no, this isn't going to go on anymore. I'm done with this, you know. I don't care how many women you've had in the past or anything else. You know, I will be treated as a lady and with respect. If you can't handle that, then okay. There's a million fish in the sea. You're not the only one. And move on. Trust me, they'll change if you change how you see them. If you continue to see them as, you know, that's just the way they are. They flirt with everybody. Okay, that's just the way they're going to be. They're going to flirt with everybody. You know? And you need to stop and look at it and think. Are they flirting? Really? Or are they just huggy guys and gals? People who love to kiss and hug and laugh, you know? Really, you're the one perceiving it as flirty. Did you stop and look at it? You know, and then there's the breakup and the heartache and the waves of sadness, and it feels like somebody died. You know, it hurts so bad. Been there, done that. And I'm with that man today. The one who I thought was going to be dead to me forever. You know, it doesn't have to be that way. But you do have to change how you see them. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, as a Mimi, as a mother, as a woman who has suffered with these very things, that you don't have to live like that. And you can have that man in your life or that woman. But you have to let the brain in your heart open that channel between your heart and your head and overwrite the consciousness in your head. And that's what means empty the cup. Be willing to submit to God. It means you just think about God, because you know there's a perfect plan, and you know it's all perfect, and God is good. God is life. God is love. There can be no bad. Bad doesn't exist. That's a human thing. Fear doesn't exist. That's a human thing. When we go and do that shit, it's just like that, you know, like the angel said in Good Omens.
Well, you're lucky I was in the area.
I suppose I am. Why are you here?
My lot sent me a commendation for outstanding job performance.
So all this is your demonic work?
No! The humans thought it up themselves, nothing to do with me.
The 12 laws of mind are teaching you about the nature of your being, the divine in you. You're a hybrid, part human, part divine. So when you're thinking with this brain, you're thinking with the human brain. And when you're, you know, letting the outside world rule you, which is this brain, then you tend to just go nutty and go crazy. And that's what those two angels mean by that, you know. No, God's not listening to that shit. Y'all go ahead and wallow in your crap. Go right ahead. And what's happening to each person individually who does that, who only listens with their head, not their heart, you know, is they become corrupt. They go down into division, and they're always finding something to be afraid of and be scared of and to be hurt about and You know, they become the bully that they hate and all those things, you know, because your divine being can't help it. And it's not God doing it. That's the human divine part doing it, the human imagination. Okay? It's running wild with the man. You have to tame that beast. And the only way to tame that beast is to jump on your heart and let your heart fly. That's being the Sphinx. And the pain, the loss, the suffering, all those things change. The person changes. If that's, you know, who you want. Otherwise, sometimes God will bring you one that is perfect. But you're so caught up in the pain and suffering of the other one, you can't see it. You have to let them go. The important thing is you're happy, okay? You're going to be happy. And you want to be happy with them, okay? So God knows that. God knows that, all right? He's right there inside you. So the reason you're a vibrational being and the vibrations have to align and match and all that other stuff is you have to have a channel between this one and this one to make it happen. Okay? Only then does the subconscious and conscious present itself to you, shows you what you've been imagining. This is why it takes time. It's not because it's not there, it is there. It's already there. Okay, they're there. The problem is you can't see it. And you can't see it because you're thinking with this head and not this head. It's opposite in objective land. You know, we say that men think with their little head and not their big head. In subjective land, you're supposed to think with your little head, your heart, and not the big head, your mind. And when you bring the two together, this is the wisdom of science. Step back and look at it. Take the emotion out of it. Okay, now look at it. And really see it for what it is. Was it some perception you slapped on there? Or was he just hugging everybody? If he's hugging everybody, he's just a hugger. Okay? But if he's hugging just the pretty girl, and there's only 3 pretty girls in the room, you know, what? You'll know. It's like, you know, the Zohar with Adam Sandler. He loved every woman. He would fool around with all of them. Every single one of them, because he loved women. But as soon as he met the, you know, the one who stole his heart, he couldn't get it up for the other women. But he still loved them. He still gave them hugs and kisses and told them, sorry, can't fool around with you anymore. She's the one that makes that run. And, you know, and hugs and kisses on her and shows her off to everybody. You know, and they're all happy for her. You know, nobody's upset that he screwed every one of them in the room. It's a great movie, by the way. You should check it out. It's really funny. But it's understanding that, you know, it's time to deal with yourself when you're having that heartache and that sadness sweeping over you at the strangest times, you know, and you'll see something and it'll just suddenly wave over you. And it's God telling you, let me loose. Let me loose and I'll take it all away. And it's just like that scene, you know, in Doctor Who, when the heart of the TARDIS is let loose out of the human body it was trapped in. It was trapped in the story. It was taken out of its home, the TARDIS, and put into this human body. And because it's the heart of the TARDIS, it was burning that body up, and that body wasn't going to last. And the bad guy, the evil, wanted her outside of the TARDIS when that happened, so he could steal the TARDIS and put his evil heart in there and shut it off to a new dimension to go gobble up all those people. But what happens is the doctor gets her back inside and tricks him into talking until the body passes. And then she's let loose. And she takes all the pain and suffering and the ugly away. You know, and it's just how it is. It really is.
You took her from her home, but now she's back in the box again. And she's free.
No. Doctor, stop this. Ow! Stop this now!
Look at my girl. Look at her go.
They are on the inside! See how?
Make us stop.
That's your problem. Size of a planet, but inside you are just so small.
Make it stop!
Finish him off, girl.
No! Do this!
So when you use the 7 aspects of God as your mental diet, when you start telling yourself, no, I'm not thinking about that. I'm erasing that. I did not think that. I thought, God is good. God is perfect good. God is life. I have nothing to fear because God is good. There's only good. If you think bad, that comes from the human side, and God has just turned away. Not listening to it, not helping you with it, not doing a darn thing. But when you have great feeling, you know, compassion with feeling, with great feeling, now you're calling out from your heart. So the idea is to always be in an open channel, because you're a lamp. You're a lamp for the divine light and for divine love. And as long as you have the lamp turned off, no one can see it. So you have to turn it on. And if you're responding to everyone and everything with love, they have to respond back to you that way. So all that ugly is washed away. It's all washed away. Because it doesn't really exist. It really doesn't. You know, even that little clip from The Good Omens is an important thing to think about. You know, the evil Crowley wasn't evil. He let Aziraphale go. He came and saved him. You know. But if you're looking at life objectively, you're not going to get saved. And that's just how it is. So you need to open up your heart and let the brain in your heart overwrite the one in your head with the aspects of God. And then all those wonderful things start happening. Your heart, the one in your heart, the brain in your heart, that's the one that gave you the desire. Okay? The one in your head decided to accept the desire. Now, you can hack it like Neville Goddard and go and have a moment of quiet, you know, and touch them and hold them, you know, and you're hacking it. You're hacking it. You're forcing it to happen. Okay? Okay. But this is what I mean by it can be a pet cemetery situation because you haven't dealt with yourself. Okay, now they come back and you're still playing that victim bully game that you don't want to play. So the idea is God knows you want that person. Okay, it's okay. Let God in your heart overwrite the one in your head and it will all start sinking, and you'll be like that, you know, the Metatrons that are going back and forth. And instead of it going like this, you'll be up in the air with love, and it'll all be going like this, all together, sinking. So I hope this helps. Blessings to you, and thank you. Thank you for being you. Remember, there's just nothing better you could do in your life than let the brain in your heart overwrite the one in your head. Seriously. I'm living proof of it. So I hope this helps. Blessings to you. Thank you. Thank you for being you.
What happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And then the true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2.